Look at this light switch. I'm in a bedroom. Okay, it's supposed to turn on these two lamps, and I've got those on, and I know they're on, but you know, on a paddle, up is on, down is off. And I thought, what's going on? So I went over there, was flipping around to try to turn this on. You know, I was turning all this, nothing happens, and I'm like, okay, what's happening here? And then I flip this again, the bottom, that's supposed to be off, and look, it's on. That tells me, what does that tell me? That tells me that this light switch, whoever installed it 17 years ago, they installed it upside down. Top is down here, bottom is up there. And I'm going to check that out. And you want to see that, stick around. So the first thing I've got to do is turn the breaker off. Okay, got it off. And I'm going to take this cover plate off. I have no idea why too. See how close it is to the door frame? Usually you've got a couple inches here. That's ridiculous. And if you're framing something, I was always taught years ago when I started out in residential, it was like, okay, if it's that close and you're going to put it by the light switch, you're going to put an extra 2x4, a piece of 2x4 right in here. You know, 16-inch long, nail it on there, then nail the box onto that. So you've got a bigger gap. That's crazy. And I realized that the door jamb casing is a little bit wider than normal, but still, I'm not liking that. But hey, there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, I'm going to look at this and see if I can see what's going on with it. I'm not seeing anything there. And there's only one light switch in this room. Boy, I thought for sure I would see it on here. I wonder why that's like that. I wonder if they put in a three-way switch and they just happen to just wire it for a single pole switch. I'm not quite sure. What's the deal? What's the deal, yo? Okay. I'm looking around and I know there's no other light switch in this room. Okay. And that is what they did. Those silly guys. I'm not sure why they did that. This is a three-way switch, and there's an extra wire to it. This should be a single gang switch. There should be only two wires, two black wires to it, and here there's two black wires to it and a red wire. Silly. Not sure why they did that. That's a no-no. And I'm not sure, you know, because they have all three wires hooked up, whoever hooked this up, it must have been an apprentice or something. They probably have the red wire going to the back. They probably have this switch so that over here, where that's plugged into the wall, you can have half the electrical outlet hot and the other not, and then you turn the light switch on, and then that controls one of them, one part of the outlet. But you don't have to use a three-way switch for that, silly. This can still be a single pole switch, and the electrical outlet, you break the tab on the side, and then you hook it up, you wire it up in a certain way, and it'll work. I can't really show you that because that's not part of this video. Had I wired this house up on my own, it would be done differently. And I could show you that. But see, now all I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to flip it upside down. I got a three-way light switch in here. How silly of them. Okay. I got to get these wires back pushed up in there. I've got the power off. So I should be a-okay. Okay. Now I'm just simply gonna put this back in the way they had it, other than now when you turn the light switch on, it's going to be right. All single pole switches, especially if you got a paddle like this, off is down at the bottom, on is at the top. On, off, on, off. You don't flip it around. You don't want part of your house turning on when you're turning the paddle off. You know what I mean? And on some three-way switches, there is no top and bottom. It is on a lit switch. Remember, I put in a three-way lit switch, and there was an actual top and bottom on it. This one apparently not so. I'm going to slide it over this way a little bit to get it off of the door casing as far as I can. And lucky for me, when they painted, they took the cover plates off. Now if somebody painted around the cover plates, and if you moved it over that far, you'd probably see the color difference along there. But in this case, there is none. I can put that on there and look at that and see this side needs to go over further. But the top I've got pushed over all the way, so that means the bottom I can move back just a little, because I want that lined up with the door casing. Okay. And the box is probably slightly crooked or something. Okay, that looks, I'm looking at the side here, that looks really good there. Isn't that something? I've never seen that happen, ever. Okay? But if that was a single pole light switch, and just for a single pole switch too, if that was upside down, you just flip it just like that, okay? So that should be off, this should be on every time. Okay, so I'm going to turn the breaker back on. We'll see how it looks. Okay, I just ran up from downstairs and turned the breaker on. I have not turned this on yet. Boom. On is facing up every single time. Off, on, off, on. Okay, got it fixed. Well, that was very odd, but can cross that one off my list. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.